feel free to drop some questions in the comment section if you want me to ask Jordan some specific questions. I've obviously got some lined up for him. Here he is, the man himself. How you doing, Jordan?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm just going to set my phone up here and let me know if it's all right.
Yeah, all right.
How's that?
Cool. Hope you. That's all. That's perfect. There we go. We can hear you all right, Justin?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's perfect. Hope you and the family are well. You're staying safe, staying isolated.
Yeah, just been riding the rail outside, really. That's all I can do. Go on a few bike rides and stuff.
Yeah.
But, trying to stay at home. But it's boring. How are you anyway? Good?
Yeah, good, man. I've just been, going crazy inside, but itching to get out. Don't know about you, but what are you planning to do when this situation's all over?
To be honest, I'm waiting on you to announce when the rest of the comps are. So
yeah, I think a lot of people are. That's definitely one of the questions.
That's my main really thing. Like after all this, just to get back at the skate park. Obviously, practice for the competitions up and coming whenever that will be, and see what I can do.
Yeah, obviously, like a lot of people are asking us, when's it going to be starting again? And that's obviously a question for me. But at the moment, obviously, everything is up in the air. We don't know how this situation is going to be in a month's time, 2 months' time, 6 months' time. We don't know. So we have to obviously wait and see what happens there. But we are itching to get started again.
You have to kind of account for that, don't you? You can't really be throwing out dates and stuff, and then
exactly. We obviously we're professional. We've got contingencies in mind. We've got dates already there penciled in for option 1, option 2, option 3. We've got them things in place. So hopefully the situation will be over soon, and we can get back to running some awesome competitions. Yeah.
Yeah.
So. Do you think once we get this situation over, do you think you'll be able to beat John Marco at the World Final?
To be honest, I'm not really sure. At Thunder Park, so obviously the first ISA, that if all of you don't know, that's on the live stream. We done the first ISA in Europe. I think it was Europe.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
In Ireland, and I managed to take first out there, and then. I was just having fun, and that was the main thing for me. So it was kind of like take every competition as it comes. So in my case, it was just one until all this happened.
Yeah. That's not bad. 1 for 1.
yeah, 1 for 1. But it would have been nice to get out to a few more. Maybe like get out to Barcelona or Spain or somewhere like that was the next one.
Yeah, we had La Poma. One, yeah.
Maybe get out today. See what I can do and just take it as it comes. I think it would have been a big thing. Having the Worlds in London, if that's obviously still a possibility, then it will be.
We got loads of people hyped for that. We are still intending to have it in London, of course. But again, everything's up in the air. We have to wait and see this. And most important, it needs to be safe. We're not going to be stupid. We're not going to just go throw it on a big event when it's unsafe to do so. But we got high hopes. I'm sure you have as well.
Yeah, for sure. And I think for me, for it to be in London is like a big thing, because I remember it obviously sad that D-Sides had to go now because of the virus and things, and then most of the, how many was there, 3 World Championships that were in the UK?
No. We had only one official ISA World Final in the UK. I believe that's right.
And then 2013 was.
We had D-Side and we had Scoot Fest. Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So that was kind of. It's kind of a big deal, it being in London and things, because obviously, home turf. I really like the idea of it, and obviously, I hope this all clears up as soon as possible so we can get it going and things. And then, to be honest, Terry, with regards to can I beat John Marco or anyone like that, it's just, just try my best and see what happens. Last year was a bit of a flop for me. I've done all right. Obviously, we went out to Germany, Wuppertal. I took first out there, and we were doing, and then I got second at 040. So it was going good, and then I got that ligament injury in my ankle, didn't I, at Corby?
Yeah.
So I couldn't compete in the Euros or anything like that, and I think that just really put off my whole year.
Yeah, well, that's understandable. I mean, I'm exactly the same. You know, I'm a rider myself, for anyone who doesn't know. But, you know, injuries is part and parcel of riding scooters, isn't it? And you just got to stay busy and do physio and get back on it as soon as you can. But
the one thing that I've never really been able to, you know, like do is just rest. Hence why I was at Barcelona when I really shouldn't have been, and you know, I was at other events, you know, just trying because I didn't want to let anyone down. And then, you know, my family come out to Barcelona, and then my friends are there, and all this, and it's just like you don't want to let anyone down. So I was just like, you know what, whatever, let's go for it.
Yeah. Reece Rogers just said you're still the champ anyway.
Who said that?
Reece Rogers.
Yes, bro, I appreciate that. You'll be taking a lot of flipping championship too. When you do triple flip or quad flip or whatever.
Quad flips, yeah. So I've had a lot of people in the comment section asking when's the triple flare happening.
Well, to be honest, whenever I can not land on my bum.
Yeah.
So I've got a couple of ramps in mind that I would like to do it on. Obviously, do you remember Scootfest 2018 where I tried it at Corby on that big quarter at the back?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so that, for me, that was one of the ideal ramps, but my issue was where I was so hyped and I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to send it. I was sending it just to get round rather than to land it. And that's where my issue come in Barcelona 2019 was because I sent it to land it, and I don't know what happened. I probably shouldn't have done it on that quarter pipe, to be honest. But so for me, I sent it to land it, but then over-rowed and spun off, and you know. But I've got a couple of ramps in mind. So obviously that ramp would be one, you know, that I would love to do it on. But I think I could definitely spin one at the base on their new half pipe. I could spin one. I don't know if I could land one because them quarter pipes on a triple flare. It sounds really weird, but you know, like on a flare, you pop out on a steep quarter pipe and you land flat. But with like a triple, because you're taking off, and you're like flipping so hard, the momentum like kind of pushes you back into the ramp.
So I have that with double flares. I can totally relate because as soon when I do a flare, I can land like completely flat. When I do a double flare, I struggle to pull out.
Yeah, it's almost like for you, I know you do double flips and stuff. It's almost like you're trying to pull out for a double flip.
You're kind of pushing through it, And so I guess you've got to not just spin 3 flips round and half a rotation. Yeah. You've got to remember on the takeoff, okay, I've got to pull back now as well.
Yeah. So with regards to Barca, as soon as I took off, I knew it wasn't the right one, but the worst thing you can do is let go, and the worst thing you can do is just stop. So hence why I landed on my arse, and then, you know, done whatever I did.
I just said, keep telling us your secrets. I want to try one.
Yeah, send it, bro. I mean, if anyone's, you know, mad enough to try it, then try it. You know, but it's so hard. Like Reece can probably relate to the quad flip. How much momentum you've got when you're spinning at such a fast pace, and you've then got to stick your landing. Like it's difficult, you know, and especially like in the skate park as well. Like the ramps aren't like our Wheelie Land or Nitro Circus, so it's a bit.
No.
It's a bit more difficult. But coming back, I'm going completely off topic. Coming back to the ramps that I would probably try it on, and whenever it would come. To be honest, I went to Corby to try it on the Resi again because that's the closest I've ever been. I don't know if anyone's ever seen it.
I was going to come back to that, yeah.
So pretty much what I did was I basically like slid out on my heels. I didn't fall back or anything. Like I slid out on my heels. That's the closest I've ever got. So I would like to try it to that resi again, but then I feel like resi is just so slippery. So, you know, you're not going to do it. And then if I land it, then there's obviously going to be, oh, you didn't do it to wood. So I would like to try it out.
My personal opinion would be do it on the resi because you've been this close to landing it. It would be nice to just get it. Like I think resi counts anyway, but like obviously to make it like super official, you do it on wood. But I still think you do the world's first triple flare, and no one would contend that. It's the same for Ryan when he did double flare onto resi. Everyone didn't say, "Oh well, no one's done a double flare yet," So I think get it to resi so it's safe and you're able to try it over and over. Because that's the problem. You keep trying it on wood, crashing out, dying, and then not being able to do it again for 6 months.
Like when I first ever was trying them, it was back in 2017. So I first tried it, or it might have been 2016. I don't know. I think it was the start of 2017. So that day I must have tried about 30 when I was first ever attempting them. Like, and you can just think how much you're pulling and how much like strain is going through your body. Trying this like however many times. Literally in my camera roll, it's like 30 clips, just one after another.
Body must
but yeah, like, I do understand what you mean, like with the go to resi, get it safe, because if you stop spinning in the midair and you're trying it to wood and you land on your head, you're dead pretty much. So it's not trying to scare anyone, but it's that's like what it is. It's a big trick. So my answer to the question is I want to get it as soon as possible, but the reality of that happening right now is very minimal. But whenever the skate parks open back up, I'll be getting back on it for sure.
Hang 5 Gear just said, come out to AZ Grind. He owns AZ Grind, by the way. He said, come out to AZ Grind. Tristan Anderman and Wyatt Anderson will bring it this week. There you go. You've got your options.
For sure.
It's always good to see that support in the scooter industry, though, isn't it? Like, I don't know about you, but I've been out to Australia, I've been out to China, I've been to America countless times, and there's always someone there that you're just like instantly best friends with, and it's like you've known them for years, but you've never actually met them before.
So, like, for me, it's nice to, go. Like, the boring part for me is, getting on the plane and you're like, oh, I don't want to do it. Like, because I hate the planes. Like, sitting on the plane for, like when I've been to Australia 5 times now. So, sitting on the plane for 24 hours, like 24 to 30 hours is, for me, it's like, I can't be asked. So, but then as soon as I get there and, hit that first skate park and everyone's like, you meet up with your friends, that you haven't seen for maybe since, like, in my case, like most of them come to Barcelona. So then when I go out there, like when I was doing the Pro Series and things, like a couple of months later or 3 or 4 months later, whenever it is, it's nice to just have a session with everyone and just have fun, really. And you know what? Coming back to my triple flare, the Shed Skate Park, resi.
Oh yeah. Where you did Ryan Williams double there, didn't you?
Yeah. Ryan Williams done his first double flare there. That's a skate park I'd love to do a triple as well. When I done the 540 double, that day I was going to do a triple, but I don't know. I like sort of talked myself out of it because there wasn't a ramp to try it into the foam pit or anything like that.
Yeah. So you won't spin to it, yeah.
No, I probably would have, I would have spun it easy. Like, I can spin it easy, but it's just the landing. Because it's kind of like, it's all blurry. Like, when you try double flare, I don't know if you can relate.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's like, hard to focus, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's like one of the main things for me. But when I was doing that 540 double flare at the Shed, I had Ryan Williams there, I had Charlie Hastings, he come along as well. Jess Boland was there, Corey Ridge, all the mag here, a lot from Australia, so it was all it was wicked, and I was that was one of the best sessions I've ever had. Ryan doing like flipping, I don't know, 900 flare bars and stuff. It was mental.
So I just seen a really good question from someone called 757 Sam. He said, "How is scootering for getting an income? You know, how is it for getting money?"
Yeah. So to be honest, I've never really had that sort of question asked me, especially on live. But if you're for me, it's really good. So obviously, I've achieved a lot in the sport. I've kind of cemented my name a little bit in the sport for doing some of the tricks I've done, and obviously winning the competitions I have. So it's really good for me. But then say if you're, it's a hard question to answer, because everyone's like. So for Terry, for instance, it's different because he doesn't really ride as much anymore, but he's still, involved in it. So, and he still makes a good living, and so it's like it's a bit of a difficult question to answer. It all comes down to who you are, as a rider. So when I was first starting out, it was like not good. I didn't get paid to ride scooters or anything. So for me, it was like a dream come true, just being like at the Dialed event, and this when I first done my comp at Scoot GB and things like that, and Grit Academies and stuff. It was like a dream come true to even be there, and then to like actually win them and things like that. It was like whoa kind of thing. But then as you get older, you start to your eyes open up a bit more, and then you can take opportunities, and like it all comes down to like negotiations and things like that. So if you've got the right
something I always say to kids is like you have to be smart. You can't just rely on your scooter skills to get you money. Like obviously you can from like winning a couple of competitions, but if you want to go any further than that, you've got to be smart. And like a lot of kids don't know what to study at college or university. I always say do business. Business is the best one for sure. Yeah. What do you think of that?
So I agree with you, but for me, like the academic side of things when I was at school and stuff wasn't really my strong point. I didn't get any grades at school, so I come out, I done college. So it was really weird. I come out of my maths exam and I got in the car, drove to the airport and went straight to Barcelona 2015 Worlds.
Wow.
And then obviously, happened to win it. So realistically, if I didn't win that competition, I probably wouldn't be like, I don't know, maybe I would have, but at that point, if I didn't do it at that point, I probably would have, had to go and get like an apprenticeship at college and things like that.
It could have changed your path for sure.
Yeah. So winning that competition for me changed my whole life. Because at the start, so when obviously, they give you the medal and things, I was like overwhelmed. I didn't really know what was going on, to be honest.
Yeah.
And then it's when people were coming up to me and like, do you know what you've just done? Like, and I'm like, no, not really, kind of thing. And then it was all like so overwhelming. And then I'd say when I went to Australia, so it was about a month after Worlds or 2 months after Worlds, that was when it really opened my eyes, and I was like, look, I can really, make this a career. And so were you out in Germany at King Coburg?
I might have been. I get around a lot, as you probably know.
So do you remember when they gave Lewis Williams first? And it was actually...
Oh, yeah, no, I was there. And I was the one who corrected that mistake.
Yeah. So I went there and then we flew straight home. No, we didn't even fly home. We flew back to London, stayed in London, flew to Australia. And that was the turning point for me. And then, do you know what else was as well? It was kind of like a couple of negative comments. So it was fluke. You won because you just done this and this, and it was just like, you know what? Yeah. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back next year and do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
What do you know? I've done exactly the same thing, and then it was just like, it's all eye-opening. So,
yeah.
And then, do you know the best advice I can give if you want to, make a career out of scootering is make sure you don't sell yourself short, and make sure you try and grow your fan base as big as possible, because if brand, like, the kids probably won't understand, but when a brand looks at you and they go, oh right, so he's got 15,000 followers, they're going to look at you a lot differently. To say, like, if you had, for me, I have 454,000 on here, so they're going to go, whoa, like, he can benefit us, like by riding our scooters, or say, if I do Instagram, like, promotions and things. If a brand wanted me to promote their thing and stuff, so they're going to go, if they go, oh, he's got 15k, they're going to go, all right, so we'll offer him this amount. But then say if you got 450k, they're going to go, oh,
we'll offer you this amount. Yeah, so it makes a lot of sense.
There's a lot of things that you can do within, like, it doesn't just have to be within scootering, but you have to grow a fan base as much as possible. That's
make yourself marketable.
Yeah, so I can that's the best advice I can give. Like, obviously you have to go out and put in the work to be able to then is it reap the rewards? I don't know if that's
reap
right.
The rewards,
yeah.
Reap the rewards.
So that's kind of what I done. I just wanted to just win everything.
So obviously you put in a lot of work. Yeah, I mean, everyone puts in a lot of work, but it seems that you're extremely consistent. Like on another level consistent. Because I mean, I've been riding scooters for 20 years, and I watch you ride, and it's like you've done every trick 1,000 times before. What is your secret to that?
To be honest, it's just like, it comes back to just having fun, and being down the skate park with your friends and stuff. And once you, so for me, a big a trick that I could never, at the start, I could never flare. I could backflip. I could backflip and front flip, but I could never do a flare. It probably seems quite stupid now I say it.
Ironic,
yeah. I could never flare, so I'd always do like a weird 540 thing. So when I managed to learn a flare, so it was at Prevail, 2014, start of 2014, or no, it wasn't the start of 2014, start of 2013. I learned, like, my first flare, and then for me, getting tricks consistent is then doing them over and over and over and over again. So when it's when I learned 540 flares, I was like, right, 540 flare, 540 flare, 540 flare. Can I do it here, and here?
Hang Five just asked, do you have a gymnastics background? Is that one of the answers?
Yeah. So
you do,
when I was younger, I used to do gymnastics from about 8 years old.
Wow, okay.
I don't even know.
See your brother.
Yeah. So I done it, and then now, but now my brother, he's like British champion and all this gymnastics. So he's really good at it, and but I didn't, because I played football at the same time. I didn't really take it as serious, but I've always been quite, I've got good spatial awareness and things, so I know where I am in the air, and that definitely plays a big part of, like the double front flips, and then like the double flares and things like that. So like, I get, like you say, it's quite, when you see me ride, it is quite consistent, but then at the same time, I have my off days where I won't be consistent.
Of course, So a lot of it is up here as well, isn't it?
Yeah. So realistically, I'm gonna be completely honest. Yeah, a 540 flare bar spin. I probably haven't done one of them for about since Sunder Park, which was how long ago? A month ago.
Yeah,
it was a month. It was a month ago. I haven't done one of them since. Realistically, I could go and wang bang that right now. And probably if I was off for a year, I could probably go and do that again, because it's all about having like it up here, like
confidence,
knowing where you are, you know, and not only just
muscle memory as well.
Yeah, a lot of muscle memory. So when I worked that out when I was, because I learned 540 flares first, and then I learned double flares, and then I was like, oh my god, I don't. When I'm spinning off for a double flare, I'm like spinning. Like I kept like messing up a couple. So when the bass got their foam pit, that's when I really excelled in, you know, getting my muscle memory.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So it's coming back to the Hang Five. Yeah, I did have a gymnastics background, but I think it was only for like a year or something like that. I'd done it for, but yeah, I can do all the flips and things. But yeah,
so obviously you did gymnastics, and just like me, you played football when you were younger as well. But what was it that made you choose scooters over other sports like football or even BMX, skateboard, or anything? What is it that makes scooters special for you?
I mean, so I first started out on the BMX at Chichester Skate Park. So when I was riding there, it was always like BMX, and then one day this kid like brought the scooter down, and I was like, "Yo, can I have a go?" sort of thing. And I went on it, and basically these three other lads were trying bri flips, and I was like, "Oh, you know what? I'll try with you." And I ended up landing a bri flip, my first ever trip.
Really? No way.
Yeah, on a 5 foot. Because I rode BMX like every day there. So, but then I, you know, watching people, you know, seeing what they do and stuff. It was on one of them, you know, chrome Razor scooters.
They
were all trying bri flips, and I remember them having red metal cores. They were 100 millimeters, and they were like full core, like all, you know, anodized red and things like that.
Probably Eagles or something.
Yeah, something like, I don't know what it was, but they were trying that, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to give it a go, and I ended up landing that in like 10 tries, and then that's when it was a turning point for me, where I was like, you know what, I really want to like I want to get into scooters, but then at the same time, I was playing like semi-professional football at Brighton and Hove Albion. So they were. It was kind of like I had to keep it on the down low, because otherwise they'd be like, "Oh, you can't play because you know you're doing this and doing that." And then the biggest change in the biggest turning point for me was when I won 2015 Worlds. I was playing football up to that point, and then I just went, you know what? You know, the manager was annoying me, and it kind of like when I was on the skate park doing, you know, it is a routine, really, isn't it?
I guess so.
I run. It is. It like you plan out a routine to win.
I don't like to use the word practice too much, but practicing as well, isn't it?
Yeah. And then I was just like, you know what? The coach is being a right idiot. I just want to leave. I'm gonna, you know, I'm gonna go for it. And that was the biggest turning point for me. You know, doing scooters full time.
And so that was 2015 Worlds. And obviously, on that note, you call it Worlds, yeah? What is it that makes the ISA World Final the official World Championship for you? Like, why would you not call something else the World Championship? What does it make the ISA the official World Championship for you?
I think for me, because when I first started, and it was like a big thing for me and my friends. So I used to look up to Dakota, Ryan Williams, and then Archie Cole. He obviously lives around here. He was a big name around here.
Yeah.
When I was first starting out, and I remember watching the 2013 Worlds live and the 2014 Worlds live, because that's all my mates went on about. And that when I hear like ISA World Championship, you know, for me it makes it a big thing, because of I was watching it live and I aspired to be there, and wanted to beat Dakota and beat Archie and all these other riders, like Dylan Morrison, everyone like that. That's what makes it an ISA World Championship for me, because it has the best riders in the world, battling out for the world title, and that's why it means so much, especially when you win it. And it was my first year, and I ended up winning it, and then obviously I won it again, and then 2017 I got second, and then 2018 I got it again. It just means because it put in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't really define anyone, but it as a rider. So no one's gonna.
The title, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's just like he's won the best of the best thing, but it doesn't then mean so obviously when I got second, it doesn't then mean that's the end of Jordan Clark sort of thing.
Well, I think you losing that reign was probably one of the best things ever, because you proved that you could come back even stronger and beat Dante the next year. I think that makes a better story than just dominating everyone. Yeah. So for me, it was so 2015. Obviously, I won that comp, and then it was really hard. So I got fifth in another, because for everyone that doesn't know, that was my third competition. That Worlds. Wow.
My
third
competition. Proper professional competition. So I rode Ipswich, Scoot GB, and then I done the Dialed event at Rampworks, and then that's what got me the golden ticket to the Worlds. Archie already had one. I got second, and then that was my third professional competition. So it was kind of weird. So in 2015, after the Worlds, I kind of got I done a couple of competitions, and I got first in Scoot Fest with Ben Thomas, if you remember that.
Yeah.
So that was a World Cup thing. So realistically, I could call myself 4-time world champion if I wanted, but
I think World Cup's different to World Final.
So and then it was kind of working out what I needed to do in runs, and then like you said, I dominated 2016. I don't think I lost a comp apart from Nitro World Games. I got second, which that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to just prove that it wasn't a fluke. And then 2017, I dominated all the way up to Worlds, got second, and then at the start it upset me because I really wanted to be 3-time world champion, and then a massive thing for me. It was because I didn't know, second, not being world champion at the big level, I didn't really know what it was like. I thought it would be that's it, Jordan's done. So but then it like you said, it was a massive year for me to come back and do it again. It made me realise that it doesn't define anybody as a rider having that title. So that's why I have a completely different look on competitions now. As you could probably tell at Thunder Park, I'm just having a laugh with everyone, and then when it comes down to the runs, I do take it. I obviously want to take it serious, and I want to win because, coming back to the kids' question, can you make a career out of it? That's what's going to make you have a career out of it, is if you take it serious and you want to win. If you don't want to win, then what's the point?
And on the note of kids, you were obviously just a kid when you won the 2015 Worlds, and you said the third competition, professional competition. What kids do you think there are to look out for, up and coming kids to look out for in the next year, or even the next up to the next 5 years? What kids have you got your eye on?
I mean, for me, Jaden Sharman's still a kid.
Yeah,
he's how old? 15 or something? 14 or 15?
I think he's 16.
And he's coming 6th at Worlds, and then Charlie. obviously Charlie Dyson. He just needs to get bigger. Like, he just needs to grow taller,
more strength.
That's when it's going to turn, and everyone's going to be like, "Oh my god, he's probably going to win." So once he gets taller and gets a bit bigger, a bit more muscle behind him, that's when everyone's going to really see him come alive. But then I see that Tyler Haney kid doing double backflips over his wall in his back garden.
That was game changing, wasn't it? Absolutely game changing.
So to be honest, nowadays any kid, because if you look at it 4 or 5 years ago, people will be like, who the hell is that kid doing double front flips over the box? So realistically, and nobody knew me. The only reason I met you was because you come to the base, and it was just like, and that was a massive thing for me. I was like, oh my god, Terry Price is at the base, like, and all my mates were like, oh, go and ride with him, sort of thing. And it was just like, I was starstruck when I saw you for the first time, and like Archie and people like that. And so like I feel like nowadays with the facilities that we have, like Adrenaline Alley, the base next to me, obviously
everywhere, isn't it? So many good facilities.
So many good facilities where kids are just crazy, like that Carter kid's doing double flares, obviously. That Tyler kid double flipping the wall, like coming back to that, that's ridiculous. In a back garden over a brick wall, he's double flipping onto a flipping airbag, and
he's fearless, isn't he? Absolutely fearless.
But to be honest,
Ethan Dowler just said, Australia is full of kids that are going to make a huge mark on the scene in 4 years' time.
Yeah, and that's like when I was watching YouTube videos when I used to, just come home from school, watch YouTube videos, watch as many scooter ones as I can. Every rider I used to watch was pretty much in Australia, and they all were unbelievable. I don't know what it is out there. I don't know what it is out there, but they were just mad. But then John Marco's a kid.
Yeah, 16 years old, he won world champion.
So that was the same age as me. I just turned 16 and I come out, done my last exam at school, went to Worlds, and it's so much at a young age. It's like, whoa, kind of thing. But then it probably was a bit different for John because he'd obviously won the Pro Series twice, and then he had won other competitions. He's
quite a different path.
Yeah, like he's just ridiculous. Whereas like my path was just, see what I can do at a competition, and then a couple of the mums said to my mum, "Oh, you should get into this comp. You should get into this comp." And then I ended up going to Dialed. And then it's all mental, really. So any little youngster could come and whoop all of us this year or next year, whenever the Worlds is. You just don't know. Like, there was I can't, like, even people like Isaiah, who the way he was riding, and Jordan Hall, he's a massive underdog. Like, everyone underestimates him so much, because he rides ski. But at the end of the day, I think it's one of the coolest styles. Like when he's...
Well, he got second at the Action Space Invitational, didn't he?
This is what I mean. Like, anyone can do it. And, like, Dylan Morrison, he is someone who I could just sit and watch all day, the way he floats around the skate park. Who else? Yeah. Chris Farris.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Chris Farris is a massive, massive contender this year.
He won the Action Space Invitational as well.
Yeah, so, like, anyone really. Like, there could be that little kid who done what I did. You just don't know.
So let's give the audience a chance to ask you some specific questions as well. So, guys, we've got Jordan Clark here. Obviously, if you don't know him, he's 3 times ISA world champion, absolute legend of the sport. He won the world championship with just 5K followers. How many followers you got now, Jordan?
454,000.
It's just insane, isn't it? So, guys, I want you guys to drop your questions in the comment section, and we'll ask the best one. So we've got Blake23 here. Yes, we're just going to do some quick fire question and answers for you, okay, Jordan? Yeah. Blake23 says, how long have you been riding for?
I have been riding since the end of 2012, so about 8 years.
8 years. JC Josh 57 says, what's your favourite trick?
My favourite trick is probably a 540 flare bar spin, just because it looks cool, like to a non-scooterer, but at the same time, it's not. It's going to sound weird. It's not as difficult as like other tricks.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Phil Grice says, "Oh, go on."
That I would struggle more with doing like a Bry Buttercup than a 540 flare bar. For anyone that wants to know.
Okay. That's crazy. Phil Grice says, how many world championships do you feel that you can win? You've won 3 already.
So realistically, I would love to get 5.
5. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's a solid amount right there.
Realistically,
and you could easily do it. How old are you, Jordan?
I'm 20.
20. So, I mean, you're still a baby, right? You've still got many years to smash it out. And it doesn't. And something that I always say is like with riding, it can go like this. You know, one year you might be here, next year you might be here. You know, this does not dictate that you're going to carry on going this way. Yeah. This doesn't dictate that you're going to carry on going this way. Things like injuries or just other life priorities can get in the way or change things up. And that's why I always say this is scooter riding right here. You can go up and down. There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't win 5. I've got no doubt you could. Yeah,
for sure.
We've got Tento Shimo says, do you have a job? What do you want to be when you grow up?
To be honest, my job right now is obviously like Jordan Clark as basically a brand. I ride scooters professionally. That's my job. But when I grow up, I'd like to think that I've had a smart approach, so I don't have to, go to work with my dad and
be a labourer or something.
Be a labourer or anything like that. I don't want to, do any of that. So, coming back to when you said take business as one of your options, and do that, I would like to, kind of take a smart approach and then not have to be able to, go and work in an office or, go and be a labourer, go and be a lifeguard or anything like that, I want to.
Okay, I've got another good one. Down724 says, who's better out of you and R. Willie?
It's a different riding style, I think.
For sure.
Definitely a different riding style, but I'm always going to give it to Ryan because he's my biggest inspiration in, as a rider.
My opinion on that. Do you want my opinion on that, okay? Ryan can't touch you in the competition sense. He couldn't even touch you in the skate park, to be honest. Like, that is where you, consistency-wise, just you're an absolute freak of nature. And then you got Ryan is the complete other side of scooter riding, really.
Yeah.
Big air, insane world's first. I'm not saying you can't do that, and there's definitely a crossover as well.
Yeah.
But you both have your niches, don't you?
Yeah,
So you absolutely dominate them fields.
Yeah, so for me, I have a great facility in the base to be able to practice what I'm good at, skate park competition riding, whereas he has a facility next to his house that is basically send your biggest trick, get it dialed in the bag, and then just try it to a landing. So, but I'd still say he's definitely
a legend of the sport, isn't he?
Yeah, he and when you meet him, so 2016, I met him for the first time, and I'm not gonna lie, I crapped myself. I was like bricking it because I knew I was gonna meet him, and I was just like, oh my god, getting sweaty palms and stuff. Like that's the effect he has on a lot of kids. So,
but then you do as well. I guess it's hard to say, isn't it?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Okay, Dax Archer said, "What is your worst injury?"
I'd say there's like 2. So the one that's annoying is obviously my ankle last year. That's the most annoying injury, being able to, you know, have the mindset of wanting to win and do it, but then, you know, you're doing the trick and you're like, I can feel it. But then probably my worst is when I was at Prevail and their resi's like not the best resi. I tried a double backflip and I landed on top and I come down and I smacked my face on the bars and I bit through my tongue. My tongue was like hanging off. And it was, wow. Yeah, it was grim. That's probably my worst. Yeah, that is probably my worst. To be fair, though, my Nitro Circus, that wasn't even that bad, to be fair.
It looked absolutely ridiculous in a way that you survived it. Like, that will go down in history as one of the craziest wipeouts on Fortnite. And the fact that you bounced back from it just shows what athlete you are. So, like, a week later, I was riding. So, for anyone that looks at the video, you probably think, "Oh my god, he's done." Like, yeah. If I didn't turn my head like I did, I'm gonna be honest, I probably would have broke my neck. Yeah. Because the force of coming down would have literally broke off. But because I turned my head, I think that's what kind of took my face took most of the resi burns and stuff. So for everyone that watches that video and goes, "Oh, it wasn't." It looks bad, but it wasn't as bad as it could have been. Looks, So and it could have been. So I don't really know, but definitely the one where I come down and just smack my face on the bars and bit my tongue. That's probably one. Yeah, that sounds horrendous. Yeah, all right. When you just bite your tongue, it's like. I've never done it, but let's go on to the next question. Simar Deli says, "What shoes do you ride?" I ride in just Vans, so just there you go. Right there, checkerboard. Nice. I wouldn't ride in these ones because I like these ones and I like wearing them out. But just like I've been recently like trying to ride the pro ones with the squishy insole, so you don't get mad. You can always insert a squishy insole as well. Yeah. So anyone who doesn't know, just Vans really. Quite a few people have asked, "What's your first trick?" Which I guess they didn't catch the start of the live stream. It was just an interesting answer. A bright flip there. So I learned that before I learned tail whips or bar spins or anything. Which is Aaron Hill asks, "Why did you leave Grip?" For me, it was I just wanted a different challenge. There's only so many decks and colorways you can ride that are the same. Yeah. Which you probably understand, like being on Mad Gear for like 50 years or whatever. For me, it was just like I fancied a change and a challenge. And for me, Mad Gear was always somewhere that I wanted to be. And you know this, when you first met me before I was anyone. That's when I wanted to be on Mad Gear then, and I've always wanted to be on Mad Gear, so it was just like the opportunity came about and I was like... So it wasn't anything bad with Grit. It wasn't anything specifically bad with Grit. It was just that you always liked the look of MGP and you did a change and you thought that would help you. Yeah. Coming back to, is it marketing yourself? Right? Yeah, marketing yourself. You said that earlier. Basically, for all of you that don't know, if there was absolutely nothing wrong with me riding for Grit. I loved Grit. I loved all the people there. I loved everything they'd done for me. But when I was like, you know what? I fancy a change. And the opportunity came about. If that post that I put out of me leaving Grit is more publicity and growing you as a rider, because you're getting more people looking at you and looking at your page and getting more followers, you know, it's not a publicity stunt, but it kind of like you get it is as well. Yeah. So like it sort of is, but it wasn't that at all. It was just, you know, like I just fancied a change and it come around, and I've always wanted to, you know, give it a go, and they've been good to me. And Grit were unreal. Like I've got my first ever signature complete hung up on the wall. The other one
the V2's downstairs. For those of you that don't know, actually, I'm going to show you. We never released this wheel.
Oh, look at that. That looks nice as well.
Yeah, we never released that wheel. So I loved it. I loved every minute of it. And but yeah, it was always, Mag Gear that I wanted to ride for because of Ryan, really. And, seeing him ride Mag Gear, and it was just mental. Like,
got another good question. D Rose 05 says, "What's your opinion on female scooter riders?"
I love it. To be fair, I follow a couple of riders on my page, and they're doing like quad whip pairs and quint whip pairs and stuff. And then I saw this one girl do like a nothing front scoot the other day. I think it's wicked that they're doing it, and especially when we had Becca and Alexandra. Is that, I think?
Yeah, Alexandra Madsen,
yeah. She and they were both in the Action Space Invitational. Like, I think it's cool. And to have the World Championship, like a girl World Championship last year as well, was like,
game changer.
Yeah, it was almost like you're not going unrecognised. We want to give back to the girl scene, and it was nice to see.
I think it's a lot fairer as well. Like, you look at Olympics and they don't pit the girls against the guys because the girls have their own qualities in so many ways, and I think it's nice to give them their own bit of the limelight and not have to go against all the guys and come 8th or whatever. Yeah. I'm not saying girls can't win, obviously, but it's nice to give them their own, showcase their own side of the sport, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So to go on, you go. Go ask me a question. I was going to say something, but it's cool.
Go on, no, you go. I'll have a look at.
I was just going to say, like, to a untrained eye, just the girls, probably like seeing them do a flare whip, and then seeing us do a flare whip, they're probably going to be like, oh my god, that girl! Like, so showing them off in that platform, is a good thing. That's what I was going to say.
Hang Five, before going off girls, Hang Five says, watch out for Fly Girl. I've seen this girl. She's an American girl, and she's the one doing the crazy heel clickers and stuff. I don't know if you've seen her.
I might have seen something, but I'm going to definitely give... What's her name? Fly Girl?
Fly Girl, yes. Fly Girl something.
Yeah, I'll give her a look out after, because I used to do heel clickers and I don't do them anymore because I'm too scared. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll have a look.
Adam Powis said, is there an age in which a pro rider's career will begin to slow down?
I mean, it all depends if you do the wrong things, if you do keep yourself active and keep your muscles good and your bones good and eat healthy.
And
I'm not going to lie, I'm not the best eater, but I'm always active, so it's going to be longer than, let's say, somebody else if they're not doing that.
Yeah. Sure.
So like a kid, if he just goes to the skate park once a day and then goes home and doesn't do any exercise, just sits on his Xbox and just eats, like, I'm not saying I don't eat, like, because I'm drinking a can of Coke, for God's sake, but
it's all in moderation, isn't it? All in moderation.
Yeah, so that's my answer to that one.
So we've got 5 more minutes left of this live stream, guys. I hope you've all enjoyed it so far. It's been absolutely legendary having you on here, Jordan Clark. And I want to ask you, Jordan, who should we interview next?
I think you should interview, oh my God. I think just because it would be good, I think it's got to be someone like Dakota or Ryan Williams.
Yeah.
Someone like that.
Right, guys, in the comment section, Dakota or Ryan Williams. I'm going to give you them 2 options right now, okay? In the comment section right now.
I think the reason I've gone for them 2 people, it's obvious why, because they're massive. Yeah. But they're the ones that were like, oh, who's better, Dakota or Ryan, when I was a little kid. and watching them. So that's why I want to put them forward to, maybe do that. But yeah, let's see who they want. I'm seeing Ryan Williams a lot.
I'm seeing Ryan a lot as well. We'll see what we can do, I'm sure I can use my connections.
Yeah, sure.
So we're going to be doing these live streams every single week, every Tuesday during this situation. Obviously, everyone's sat at home in lockdown. As much as we'd love to be riding skate parks, we can't. So this is a great way to get to know our pro riders that ride at the ISAs and just legends of the sport, of course.
Yeah.
So next week we're going to be live again on Tuesday, the 14th of April at 4 p.m. and hopefully might even have Ryan Williams on here. We will be posting.
Maybe.
But Jordan, before you go, I got one more question. Okay, just one more final question. Okay, before you go, tell us something that we don't know about you, Jordan Clark.
Tell us something that you don't know about me. Jeez.
I thought I'm going to give you a spicy one for the last one.
Tell us something that you want to know about me. What like a hobby or something?
Yeah, just something like, for example, you might be ridiculously good at chess or something else, like there's something that we don't know.
To be honest, I like playing snooker and pool.
Oh, okay, yeah. So you go to the pub, you put down your 50p on the side, do you?
I've actually got a membership for like a actual club.
There you go. That's something I didn't even know that, and I'd like to say I know you quite well.
Yeah.
So are we gonna see you on the pool table at ISA World Finals? We're gonna have to get a pool table somewhere, aren't we?
100%.
Yeah.
But I don't want none of that 50p slot in. This needs to be free.
Okay. All right.
Winner stays on.
We can't afford 50p nowadays. Excellent. Right. Jordan, I want to say a massive thank you for tuning in.
Thank you.
Honestly, it's been an absolute pleasure to have you. And everyone else that has watched this live stream, we're going to be live again next Tuesday, the 14th of April at 4 p.m. Again, feel free to comment on our feed who you want us to be interviewing next. Guys, everyone, stay safe. And be responsible during this lockdown. Please stay at home. But thank you very much, Jordan. I'll say bye to you if you want to say bye to your fans as well.
Yeah, thank you guys. I really appreciate you coming on here. I've seen the numbers flicking up and flicking down. I appreciate it so much. And if you ever see me at skate park, in the near future, don't be afraid. That's the one thing. Like, don't be afraid to come up and say hello. Just, I don't bite. And hopefully I can see you guys soon. But thank you, Terry, for having me on. And we'll see you when the comps come.
Excellent. All right, take care, Jordan. I'll say goodbye first.
Bye.
And take care, everyone else. Thank you for tuning in. We'll see you again next week, Tuesday, the 14th of April at 4 p.m. UK time. Take care, guys. Thanks very much.